Hey guys, it's Katt Dee, and I'm here with my San Diego Comic-Con want list. Now, this is just a list. I've put them in order from 1 to 10, 1 being my most wanted and 10 being my least wanted, although I want them all, just to, kind of show you what I'm looking for. I'm not going to, call out, where they're from. I'm sure a couple of them that I put on there are from the pop-up shop at San Diego Comic-Con, which, to be honest, if I got any pop from the pop-up shop, would be amazing because they are so limited and it's only at San Diego Comic-Con and all of them are numbered, just for collector's value and the fact that I love collecting these figures. I would love to have any of them from the pop-up shop. But I did put them in order from 1 to 10. Now, so I actually was talking to my friend FM the other day, and if you guys want to check out his list, I'll go ahead and link his list of things that he's looking for San Diego Comic-Con. His is quite different from mine, so I'll link that down below. I was talking to him the other day about SDCC, and he was nice enough to point out something that was not Funko Pop related, but something that I really wanted and I actually got my hands on. So I'm really excited to talk about that, so I'll show you that. Unfortunately, San Diego Comic-Con is not going to let us know where we can find every single pop or who they're sharing them with. You already know some that are going to be at Toys R Us. They won't tell you till the week of Comic-Con, where they'll be, and they're going to come out, I think, the same day as San Diego Comic-Con starts, which is the 20th. I believe that's when they come out, and I will not be able to go out shopping for them because I will be on a plane on my way to Florida. And although I know I should not complain about that because I am going to Disney World, I'm really upset that I'm not going to be able to shop for these. If I want most of these, I'm probably going to have to try to find them secondhand. I mean, people are already selling these things on eBay for ridiculous prices. So, I mean, I might get one, I might get none, but I'll put it out there. If anybody's going to San Diego Comic-Con and wants to pick them up, I'll be more than happy to trade some of the pop figures that I have here that I don't want anymore. Get in touch with me before anything is, before any transaction transpires, because I would hate for you to get something and then I have nothing to trade in return. But yeah, I'll put it out there. Before I get into the Funko Pops, I first want to show you a couple things that are not Funko related that I actually kind of want. First one is what I was talking about, and I actually did get my hands on this. And when Franklin told me about it, there was only 2 of these left. So it's like, oh my gosh, I better buy it now because I'm not going to Comic-Con and there's no way I'm going to be able to buy it from the NECA booth. So as you guys know, I love the Corpse Bride and I love Coraline and I love everything in that animation genre. Now, I've done, I've talked about this before, but they don't do a lot of memorabilia from these franchises because of the studio. The studio hasn't sold the rights to make toys yet, and I think they're just now talking with several companies to produce more toys from Coraline, Kubo, I think that's the name, Frankenweenie, anything in that animation kind of style. And the Corpse Bride was actually by this studio. It's like Laka or Lakey Studio. I'll put it here, the studio. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But actually partnered with the Corpse Bride, which is probably why we've only really seen the McFarlane figures for the Corpse Bride, which I only have 2 of. I only have Mayhew and Mrs. Plum, and that's only because Mikey Rochester. So thank you, Mikey Rochester. I'm still looking for all those McFarlane figures for the Corpse Bride. But anyway, I'm rambling. So the item that I actually purchased, limited to 3,000, is the Coraline figure with display set, and it features Coraline and the other mother in her true form, and I will put a picture here for you. It cost $40 when I purchased it, and as soon as I told FM that I bought it, I turned around and refreshed and it was gone. So it's no longer available to pre-order on the website. If you want this, you're either going to have to buy it secondhand or buy it from the San Diego Comic-Con NECA booth. if you're going there, or find someone who's going to try to get your hands on it. I feel very lucky to have got that. So like I said, I knew I was going to get at least one thing, so if it's the only thing I get, it's unfortunate, because there are a lot of things that I really want to add to my collection. But you know, when you don't live in California, and even when you live in California, it's hard to get tickets to go to San Diego Comic-Con, and expensive. So yeah, so I did get that one thing. Okay, so moving on, the next thing I would really like to get, I don't know if I got, I mean, it's kind of interesting. It's actually not a figure at all. It's actually a backpack by Loungefly. And it's a limited edition Stranger Things backpack, and I will put a picture of it here, and it's going to be at the Loungefly booth. I don't know if they don't sell out, if they'll make it available to purchase online, or if it'll be something that I have to buy secondhand, but I actually might do that. But it's really cute. It's a Stranger Things backpack, and it's got little Stranger Things. They look like little mini pops all over it, and I actually really like the backpack. So there's only going to be 400 of them made, so if you're at San Diego Comic-Con and you like Stranger Things, go check out Loungefly. They do have a limited edition Stranger Things backpack. If you like Star Wars, they're also doing a Star Wars kind of satchel bag as well. So yeah. The next thing is not really a pop. Funko has released a new stylized collectible vinyl version. And they kind of remind me of the Flintstones, and I know that sounds funny, but the very first one that they're bringing out, or the one that is going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, is going to be Batgirl and Poison Ivy, and I love Poison Ivy. She's like Harley Quinn's like best friend, but they put Batgirl and Poison Ivy together in a little set, and I would love to get my hands on these figures. I would love to see what they look like, do a review on them. I don't know if they're going to be available like shared with anybody, if I'm going to be able to see them, but if not, I still would really love to have this set, even if it's just because of Poison Ivy. They haven't done enough with Poison Ivy. But yeah, so that's all my stuff Funko related, and now I'm going to get into my top 10, and I'm actually going to start backwards. So I'll start at 10, and then I'll go back to number 1. Now, if you guys know my channel and you know what pops are out, you probably know where I'm going with this as I get to the number 1 spot. But I would love to hear what you guys want and what you're looking for as well. So number 10 to start off with is, you might be shocked, but it's a Disney pop. It's Pirates of the Caribbean, the Jolly Roger, and it's the glow-in-the-dark version. Now, I mentioned I am going to Walt Disney World, and I am going to be looking for the traditional Jolly Roger, but it would be really cool to get this Jolly Roger, but I believe it's at the pop-up shop, and I believe there's only 1,000 of them, so the chances of that are probably a little unlikely, but it is one that I would really like to have. If you can see the picture, it just looks really cool, and the fact that he's glow-in-the-dark makes it even cooler, but hopefully I can get my hands on either the regular version or the glow-in-the-dark version of the Jolly Roger. Coming in at number 9 is Airgun and Arrow from Lord of the Rings. Now, I got into pops a little bit late, so some of the Lord of the Rings pops that they had previously, I don't own, and I don't know how many of them there were. I'm sure there were a few, or maybe not, but I do have the one from The Hobbit. I have Smaug, the dragon from The Hobbit. I have the gold version, and I have the whole Lord of the Rings set that just came out. I pre-ordered that with the chase figures, so I do have that set coming. I would love to add Aragorn and Arwen to that as well. Coming in at number 8, and I was debating on putting this one on my list, and I'm not because I don't want it, but just because I don't know. I haven't collected any of these pop figures from this genre or fandom, but I love the show so much, and that is Supernatural. And my favorite character in Supernatural is Dean, followed very closely by Crowley, who I just love his character, and Death, who's not in it enough. And if you guys haven't seen Supernatural and you just Google what is the intro to death, and if you don't know what that is, just go watch that scene. It is so eerily creepy, and every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, death. Yes, go watch it. Very awesome. And they actually just renewed for season 13, so that's exciting, but I'm only on 10, so I still got a ways to go. But it is Baby with Dean, if I haven't said that yet. And Baby is his car. So there's your picture for you right there. And this car, if you haven't seen this show, goes through hell and back. It gets destroyed, blown up, smashed, crashed, and Dean always puts it back together. And if you want to know why he has such nostalgia for it, you're going to have to watch the show. Coming in at number 7 is none other than one of my favorite superheroes, and that is Captain America. Now, the reason why he's number 7 is because the Captain America that we got from Hot Topic, and I'll put the picture right here of the one that I'm talking about, is literally my favorite Captain America pop that has come out. Now, while I do love this Captain America pop, and I would love to own it, I'm not saying that, this other one is just, I like it so much more that this one is not on the top of my list to get, but I would really love to have it. So it just got pushed back and pushed back and pushed back because the ones above it are either characters I don't have or I just like them better. So there we go. Captain America comes in at number 7. Number 6 is one that I won't get, but it's on my list nonetheless. So I don't know if you guys have been to Disneyland, but Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is actually at Disneyland. But it's actually a movie, and if you guys don't know, I love Disney so much. This actually came in a movie or animated pack that is called The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. And the first story is obviously it's Ichabod, Crane, and the Headless Horseman. And you see that story. It's very good. The animation for Ichabod is so incredibly awesome. If you like the whole Headless Horseman story, this Disney version is actually quite cute and a little bit scary. But The Wind and the Willows, you should check that out as well. But you get 2 adaptations and 1 movie. So, yes, I most likely won't get this pop. I would love to have it. Not a lot of people know who he is. A lot of people will probably go after this pop because either they know the ride or it's because it's super limited and it's Disney. But those of you who do and you have nostalgia for that show, that movie, The Wind in the Willows, that come in the 2-pack of The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad that came out in 1949, I hope you get it. So I would love to have that. I believe that is one that's actually only in the pop-up shop. Coming in at number 5 is The Mountain. The Mountain is from the show Game of Thrones, and I love that show. This whole side right here is Game of Thrones. There's a ton of Game of Thrones pops that I don't own. Like I said, I got into the game a little bit too late. So number 5 will be The Mountain. I can't wait for this show to come back. If you guys don't know, here's a little aside. You can now get HBO on Hulu, and if you're like me I don't have cable, I only do Netflix and Hulu, you can get HBO on Hulu free for 1 month and then $14.99 after that. But yes, but you can't watch it on your desktop computer. You have to watch it on an Xbox One, an iPad, or an iPhone, or there's some other things, but you still can't watch HBO on Hulu on the computer. I think there's a workaround to where if you go to HBO Go, you can watch it. But anyway, I'm so sad that this is coming to a close. I know some people are really upset that they broke it into 2 because there's only going to be like 6 episodes and then 7 episodes, or 7 and then 6. We have to wait 2 years to get the last 6. But nonetheless, I love this fandom. If you have not read Game of Thrones, read it. If you have not watched it, watch it. It's going to be one of those epic fantasies that people talk about for years and years. It's amazing. Okay, coming in at number 4, and I bet you guys are going to be super surprised that this is number 4, but I will explain to you why. The reason why this one is coming up at number 4, which is Harry Potter on a Broom, is because some of the other ones that are not number 4, there are less versions of that pop, or no versions of that pop, as in no characters of that pop that were made before, as to where Harry Potter, I already have like 5 versions of Harry, and while I want all of them, and I would love to have this one, obviously it's number 4 on my list, some of the other pops are just, I want them more because I either don't have them as a pop, or I only have one version, or the version that came out is just something that I really, really love. So yeah, so number 4 is Harry on a Broom. I really want these Harry Potter pops. You could probably know what's coming up in the next couple ones. So coming in at number 3, I cannot, like literally these top 4, I cannot put into words how bad I want these pop figures. So number 4 is Winnie the Pooh, and it's Flocked Tigger. And you guys, I have Flocked Winnie the Pooh. I think it's Flocked Winnie the Pooh. I'm pretty sure I have Flocked Winnie the Pooh. I need this Tigger so bad. I want this Tigger so bad. He reminds me of my mother and growing up, and Tigger was my mother's favorite Winnie the Pooh character, and she would go around saying that silly little Tigger song, bouncy, 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 fun, 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 fun. The wonderful thing about Tigger is I'm the only one, or something like that. But my mom would literally repeat that and repeat that and repeat that, and I know that this pop 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now is going to be a pop that always reminds me of my mother, and I would love to own it. I would love to put it on my shelf. It would literally be one of my grails. So yeah, I'd love to have this pop. Alright, coming in at number 2. Oh my god, this pop figure. I am so surprised they didn't do this particular character like this before. But that is Luna Lovegood. And check this pop out. And if you've seen the movie or read the books, this like epitomizes Luna Lovegood. And her other ones in her robes are fine with her little earrings and whatnot. But this is so Luna. And I cannot... I want to get my hands on this pop so bad. So we're coming down to the number 1. Fantastic Beasts, the San Diego Comic-Con pop last year was Newt Scamander, and yes, he is one of my favorite pops. The only way that you could get the number 1 in the Fantastic Beasts series, there's nothing on the back of the box. It is, you know, I believe he actually was the first one to come out, and the others followed. I still don't have a lot of the commons from Fantastic Beasts. I have like 3 of the Nifflers because all of them are exclusive, and I have this because of Franklin. And number 1 that I really, really want, it is the most beautiful pop, and I loved this in the movie, and they probably should have made it a lot bigger than they did, but it's the Okami, and if you don't know, it's one of the Fantastic Beasts, and it does escape Newt's bag, and I'm not going to give too much away, but watch the movie. It is amazing, and what this creature can do is amazing. And it can be little and it can be small, and I love it so much. So that is my number 1 pop. Sorry for all my rambling through this, and like I said, I probably most likely won't get a lot of these. You know, I might ask a couple of my friends to take a look at some of the shared pops and try to get some that way. No promises though, because I can't go shopping myself until after I get back from Florida, so most likely the ones that I really want will most likely be gone, because I feel like Harry Potter is a pretty popular fandom, as well as Tigger, and some of the other things, but we'll see, we never know. So yeah guys, like I said, let me know what you're looking for down below. I'm Katt Dee, guys. Give this video a big thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. Bye guys, bye.